Okay, so all the pieces, everything we glued is dry now. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna pick up every single piece just like that and just run your spatula just across to help that fold. And we're gonna do this on every single piece that we placed that measure 2.5 inches wide. So I did that already on all the sides. So now we will stand this up. So now the way we fold that, this side on the right hand side, it was 3.5 by 8.5. So this side folds first, the other side second, just like that. Then we fold the top or the front, and this is how this looks like. So now we will work on a handle. The reason why we want to work on the handle is because we will actually put little brads in here just to reinforce the handle and the way it's gonna hold. So for handle, I will use leftover piece that I have, but I will use this side. So the length is 12 inches and I will cut this to 3.5. And now we will score. So we will score this piece to 1 inch and 2.5. We will fold this over. So the handle is gonna be 1.5 inch. Now we will glue the 1 inch sides. Just like that. So now I will run ball folder just like that across few times to soften this cardstock, and I just want to make sure that this is all glued. So now by doing this, we are creating the shape, almost like a rounded shape, and at the same time we are softening a little bit of this paper. Now because the paper is not totally glued yet, it kind of opened up, so I will just re-glue it. Just like that, and that will be our handle. So we just have to make sure that this glue really sticks and all of it adheres. So now this will be my handle. We will apply it just like that, but I want to make sure that the fold will be even on both sides, and this is the portion that we will be gluing into our project. So I'm just gonna score it at 11 inches on both sides. So basically we will end up with 1 inch on each side, and this is the portion that we will be actually gluing. So now I will fold this over just like that. You might want to help it a little bit because now this is a little bit thicker, like this, like this. So I'm scoring in here and trying to pick this up to create that crease and almost the structure of our handle. See? So I will use 2 brads on each side. And those will be placed right here. So now I'm gonna take my little tool, and you know, actually I might use, oops, I might use 4 brads. So I will make it hold right here on both sides, and I'm trying to make them kind of on the middle. And I will do the same thing on this side. Okay. So now, because my top is dark, I will use kind of white marker to mark where I need to make the holes for the brads. And I'm positioning this handle approximately 1/2 inch from the edge. So now I will just turn this around just like that, and I will make the holes in the places I marked. Let me turn this upside down. Okay, here is my top. So now I'm gonna make 2 holes right here, just like that. So now I'm gonna put the brads through the holes. Like this. And actually, this is moving on me. Oops, and I lost it. So now I will just open them up. Okay, so I got 2 of them open right here, and I'm gonna put 2 more. And I lost one somewhere. turn this around. So now I will open them as flat as I possibly can. So over here I'm just pushing on the corners just so I don't have anything sticking out. Just like that. And here is our top. I think it looks very, very elegant. So now we will have to decorate all of the inside of this piece. Okay, so the way I have this laid out, this is the front. And please lay out this piece the same way I do, because if you will be using directional paper, basically when you open up this piece, you want to make sure that all your designs are really flowing the way you want them to. Because this one, the design is going upwards, but when you open it, you want to make sure when you're looking at this piece, everything flows upwards this way. So for the inside, I chose this paper, and that's because I have quite few sheets of this. And I know that I will need big sheets, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you will need approximately 5 to 6 of 12 by 12 sheets. And it will depend if you are using directional paper or not. Because it's my paper is directional one, so I will cut to 8 and the sheet is 8.5, so I will cut to 8 1/4, and I will cut 4 sheets the same way, 8 1/4. And I cut this one 9 1/2. Okay, 8 1/4. And this is the third. And fourth. Now, I know that for my design, I want to use this paper and all of my big panels. That's why I'm pre-cutting all 4 of them at the same time. But if you are not sure which paper you want to use, I would suggest to cut them one by one and see how everything is going to flow and which colors you want to choose for which panel, or which design you want to choose for each panel. So I cut it to 8 1/4, but now I gotta cut every piece to 10 3/4 the other way. So I got 1, 2, 3, and 4. So now I can actually start applying my pieces. So when you apply your pieces, pay attention to this piece, which measured 10 3/4 by 2, because you don't want any of these edges to show up. So basically this paper now, it becomes your guide from side to side. So I'm gonna apply one with you, and the other 3 I will apply off camera. I just don't want you to watch me applying glue. And if you really like this project, I would really like you to hit that like, share, subscribe, comment button. It really helps my channel, and I would really appreciate it if you could do this. So now, as you can see, I covered this black piece from side to side. But I also pay attention to this edge in here, because you don't want to put this paper too high, so it will interfere with the score. And that will pertain to all the pieces that we will glue. So now this piece is done. So now I will work on the sides, and I will do that off camera. But as you can see, I'm just pulling towards me because I want to keep the same direction on this panel, actually on all the panels, same direction as I used for the inside of the cover of the front panel. So now I'm gonna apply glue right here and glue this side just like that, and I will do that to all large panels which measured 8.5 by 11. Let me glue all these and I will be right back. Okay, so I glued all my panels, all the large panels, all 4 of them. So you got one side, center, which is gonna be the back of our piece. Now we have right side, and we have the back of the cover done. So now we will have to cut paper for this panel side. So this is going to be the bottom of the box, left panel, right panel, top panel, and the flap opposite side. So if this is the flap, we need to do this piece right here on this side. So I have enough of the same paper, so this is what I'm gonna pre-cut. And now I want to keep this same flow, and this is directional paper. So this bottom panel right here on the middle, in between those 2 big panels, this is 4 by 11. So I need to cut piece 3 3/4 by 10 3/4. So this will be my bottom right here. So now I need another piece, and let me measure this one because it's directional. So this one is 8 1/4, which is actually perfect for my side panel. The side panel, the width on the left hand side is 4 inches, so we need to cut 3 3/4. So this one will go here. And then for the right hand side panel, the dimensions are 3.5 by 8.5. So I need to cut, let me just double check, this is 8 1/4. So I need to cut to 3 1/4. So this is going on the right hand side. Then, and I'm gonna move this because I do want to show you. So now we need to cut paper for this panel and that panel. So paper for this panel will be 3 3/4 by 10 3/4, and this panel, the last one, which is the flap, we're gonna cut paper to 2 1/4 by 10 3/4. And all my glue just fell. Okay, so now we said that I need 10 3/4 by 3 3/4. So this is going, this is the next one. And now for the inside side of the flap, we need, and I have smaller piece, this might be good enough. I need 10 3/4 by 2 1/4. All right, so I have everything pre-cut, and this is how I'm gonna glue this. So I'm gonna glue this panel first. And I'm gonna glue it just like that. Next, I will glue my side panels, which is the left side. Okay. Now I'm gonna glue the right side. Okay. Then I'm gonna pull this. And this is big piece, so we really need quite a bit of room in here to work on this. So now I'm gonna apply glue in here, and because we already mounted our handle on this side, I can't lay this flat, but that's okay, we just need to work it a little bit. But I needed to put those brads first. I didn't want to start covering those braids with additional paper. I just want to have this nice clean look all around. So I am just gonna squish the glue just like that, pushing from the other side, because we still need to make sure that the glue adheres. So just take your time, put your hand right on the other side and kind of squish that glue all around. So now I will fold this flat and turn it around, because now I need to cover this portion. So if you want, you can put books or something underneath this to have this kind of loose. And I do have my prototype in here, so that's what I'm gonna place underneath, like that. And I'm gonna glue this piece right here. And I think I'm gonna turn this around so it's a little bit more comfortable for me, because I want to make sure it fits on the camera and you can still see what I'm doing. So now I still want to keep the same flow. So you see I'm putting the hand underneath and just squish the glue right there so it spreads and it holds well. Okay. So I think I have everything glued. So now if I open this, you can see that all of the inside is done. So now I will stand this up, kind of like this, because now we need to start working on the inside of this piece. So what I have done, originally on my prototype, what I have done, I created two little pockets or two little boxes on the side, one bigger one on the middle, and then one on the front of it, to hold little notebooks, little things you want to hold. You can hold pens, pencils, markers, scissors, whatever you want. Okay, I have all of the pieces glued. So now we will trim. The way I will trim it, I will trim around all this chipboard. So basically I do not want to see any cardstock on the sides of the chipboard. Just like that. We created this just so we can keep all these parts together, just like that. Okay, so to cover this piece, I want to use this cardstock. cover this piece, we will need to cut cardstock. The height of it, it's gonna be 9.5 inches tall. So this is directional paper. Nine and a half and 9.5. Because I have gold in here, I'm gonna have to use double-sided tape. You don't have to, you could use the glue if you don't have foil on your paper. Mine won't stick because of that gold foil. So I will just use double-sided tape. And let me just remove this. We will glue it together. And I think I'm going to position this way. So let me just make a little mark so I know where to put the paper. So let me turn it around, and the mark doesn't really show. So I think I just mark underneath with a little marker. Just like that. And I think this will be nice. Now how high down I gotta go? I don't want to lose that butterfly. So I think I'm gonna glue it just like that. And I will mark where I need to position this, just so I can get my design. I think I will also score here. Okay, so we're gonna glue it just like that. So let's make sure this adheres. Like this. Now I'm gonna trim the excess of the paper, but I will leave approximately 1 inch on both sides. Now I will score. I'm used to scoring on all 4 sides, so let's just do that. Okay, so now we're gonna fold it over. I will run the spatula. So this will be my top. And actually I have too much paper in here. So I will trim it. I want this is gonna be on the bottom, so we want that. But it's just, I think it's too much, because we can't have more than 2 inches on the bottom. Okay, so if this is the top, I will miter the corners. Just like that, and we need to miter all 4, but don't make too big of an angle. Okay, so now this is going to be my top. So we will cut out little V shape everywhere we have the chipboard. And we will do the same thing on the opposite side. Okay. So now I don't want to glue this yet. And I just noticed I need one more piece of chipboard, 4x2. Here is my another piece of chipboard. So now I will cover also in the stack, in a card stock, as I will have it on the front. So it really doesn't matter how I lay this out. So okay, so now I'm gonna cut it just the long way. I want to cut it straight. It didn't come out too straight, but good enough. So now the way we glue it, we're gonna glue this cardstock just like that to the edge. Or I should say the chipboard, just to the edge, like this. Then I will score it right here, and I will fold this over. Just like that. So now over here where we have that band, I'm gonna just create small V shape. like this, and I will trim the bottom to match the top. So this is what we have right now. So we will glue those two pieces together. Like that. I will take my bone folder and just score it on all four sides the long way, just like this. And the reason why I did this is because I do want to open this up just like that. And we will do this on both sides. This is what we have. So this will become actually our pencil holder. So now just pay attention where your top is. This is the top. So you want to make sure that the finished edge will be glued just like that to the top. And the way you glue it, you're gonna position right here on the edge where your chipboard ends. So skip the first panel, second panel, and we're gonna glue it just like that to the edge. So let me apply the glue. And I'm trying to line this side, but also the bottom. You want to make sure that your bottom is straight. Okay, so this should be stuck. So now I'm going to apply glue on this side. Stand this up. And let's make sure that this is stuck. And you see, this is gonna be our pencil holder separation. So now we can glue the top. This is the top. So now we can glue all these pieces. Just like that. Now, I understand that there are different ways of making that separation, but I can almost guarantee you that this will not move anywhere because it is trapped in between the paper. So this will stay put. Okay. So now with the bottom and with the sides, we are not going to do anything. We will just fold it over all the sides to make sure that we have that crisp finish. So when we actually fold these, this is going to be the front of our packet.